Alrighty, guys,
Rank
how's
2
it
tippers,
going?
level 11 Annie with
Nurbo
Flash
here.
is just perfect for
Let me just
playmaking
turn
over.
this off for a second. There we go. How's everyone doing? Nurbo here. Hope everyone's having a good day. Fader, how you doing? We enjoyed some games off stream before starting this stream. And while we're at it, there we go. Card packs have been sent out. Alright, let's see here. We're going to jump into the news. I'm running a little bit late on the start, I know, but we should be able to still do a good job of getting rid of some trailers that we have backlogged. We've been doing a phenomenal job on that, actually. There has been a lot more stuff happening this week, which was kind of interesting. Is there a date here for this stuff? So our first news story. There is. Okay, cool. Cool. So, let's start with our first news story. Get our thing going on here. Where is my little window? There it is. Alright, our first news story is 11-Bit Studios, the makers of Frostpunk and Frostpunk 2, is holding a Frostpunk 2 modding contest, held in cooperation with the mod.io, featuring 5 categories. A $10,000 grand prize for the first place winner, and then there are other prizes for the other categories as well. And the opportunity to leave your mark on the Frostpunk universe, Frostpunk 2 universe, as they say. So the other prizes are interesting. They're different. So the best overall mod gets $10,000 cash money. The best city mechanics mod gets a custom RX 770, 12 gigabyte XT, by the way. Frostpunk 2 Edition GPU. They're all Frostpunk 2 Edition GPUs. But the best Frostland mechanic will also get that graphics card, apparently. And the best graphics and best politics, which are the other 4, which are all 5 of them for those. Honorable mentions will get an 11-bits goodie bag, which I'm assuming is maybe some DLC stuff. Who knows? I don't know. Or maybe an actual like physical goodie bag. I'm not 100% sure. The dates on this are going to be, contest starts July 11th. I'm guessing that's when you can start submitting. Deadline to submit will be August 22nd. So you have now until August 22nd to get your stuff in. And September 1st will be when the winner is announced. If anyone is a modder out there, I don't think I know any modders, but if anyone is a modder there, like, yeah, give it a shot, try it out. Frostpunk's a really cool game, and there's some cool prizes there. Following that news, we have Critical Role. They're doing a lot of things lately. Critical Role is teaming up with LA-based indie game studio Ad Hoc Studio on multiple projects, including the official development of a D&D-inspired company's first ever video game. In addition to the Exteria set game, Critical Role is partnering up with Ad Hoc Studio on the highly anticipated video game Dispatch. Ad Hoc is the one making the Dispatch game, by the way. They are using a lot of voice actors from Critical Role in there, which is no surprise because a lot of those voice actors are actually getting around the voice acting scene a lot. Especially Matt Mercer, probably the most famous one out of all of them. Which will include future brand development inclusive of an animated series, merchandise, and tabletop gaming. The game will be something unique in the world of Exandria. It's the second time I've mentioned that now. If you guys don't know, Critical Role, when they make their D&D games, they created this world called Exandria, and that's where like the setting is for all their things. So if you haven't noticed, like Vex Machina and stuff like that, the setting is, that's the name of the world that they're in. Something unique in the world of Exandria, he added, and to think of it, it would have to be something brand new in terms of storyline. He suggests that the video game might be set in some point in between Critical Role main campaigns, and the game could feature characters from the Vex Machina, Mighty Nay, and Bell's Hells, or only some of them, according to Wilhelm. So, yeah, essentially they're bringing up their more famous storylines that they've done, and the game that they might make might apparently feature some of those characters. So, really exciting for Critical Role fans, I am sure. I'm actually interested in that because they do some pretty good storytelling there with what they do. So, that would be a pretty cool game, especially if they do like a dispatch style type thing. That'd be pretty awesome. I wonder how Wizards of the Coast is gonna be. Well, so the irony about that, Zombie, is kind of the same thing with Vex Machina. Yes, D&D belongs to Wizards of the Coast, but the storyline that they created has nothing to do with that. So they can't really go after them for that. You know what I mean? Like Vex Machina, at the end of the day, the Wizards of the Coast can't go after them for Vex Machina because that's their own. They never created that story. They never created that world. Not to mention they changed several of the rule sets themselves on how the game works, which is what a lot of D&D dungeon masters do. So at the end of the day, like, it's their own worlds. Like, if you haven't noticed, like D&D, they have books and actual adventure books that you're supposed to follow. Most D&D dungeon masters don't do that. They just follow the rule sets and they create their own that I know of. But some people do play the rule sets, so they can't really go after them. Like, if they were to do like a Baldur's Gate, which is an actual book, an actual like adventure book, then that's a different story. But they're doing their own story that they created. You know? So, like, yeah, Wizards of the Coast can't really get involved in that. They really can't, for the most part. So you can use the mechanics and not the story. Sort of. To a degree. You have to change them in some sense. That's how Pathfinder gets away with it. If you haven't noticed, a lot of table set games use similar systems, but they're not one-to-one. There are differences. For, like, example, Divinity. Divinity is also based off of D&D, but it has its own rule set and its own systems. So, like, you have to kind of change it to a degree. It can't be the exact same 5e system, you know what I mean? Or 6e is what they're probably on now, or 7. I don't know. So whoever plays D&D would know. You have to change it to a degree. And, like, Matt Mercer's kind of notorious for that. To be honest, like, Wizard of the Coast have actually taken things from Matt Mercer. Matt Mercer was actually the one who created the Gunslinger class for D&D. And, like, they've actually started implementing that in their books. So they've actually been like they've been very close partnership. Although I think Matt Mercer's at the point where, like, he's kind of shying away from them a little bit. The recent regime has been more aggressive towards that kind of stuff and less playful. Following that news, we have some Assassin's Creed news. Ubisoft just announced that Assassin's Creed Shadows has just hit a new milestone: 5 million players. That's pretty good. That's really good. That's actually a success in my book. Looks like they did well there. Probably not well enough to Ubisoft standards, but that's still good. Yeah. Also, for anyone who's enjoying Splitgate 2, we have some news for you. 104017, creators of Splitgate 2, yeah, it's a weird name, 104017, is going back to beta after the recent criticism. CEO Ian Prolak spoke up saying, "I think we've heard from the fans and from the gamers, they want something closer to Splitgate 1. And so I think for us, this feels like a beta. It doesn't feel like a launch, and I think we have to do a bit of a reset to actually actually listen to the fans, to the gamers, and address the feedback, fix bugs, and implement the features that should have been there on day one. But also make some big changes that Splitgate community wants. Speaking of Splitgate 1, it's not long for the world." Yeah, they're doubling down. As part of this new doubling down on improving Splitgate 2, the first game servers will be shut down in a month. 1047 says it's exploring the possibilities of supporting offline or peer-to-peer matches, and that it intends to include a dedicated experience in Splitgate 2 that delivers on the promise of the original, but in a short term, Splitgate 1 will be no more per 1047. This decision was made because it was costing the studio hundreds of thousands of dollars over the past couple of years to keep Splitgate 1 online. So the irony there is that everyone is saying they prefer the first game, which is understandable because I think the first game was more of an actual arena shooter, tactical arena shooter, if anything, because you had to use portals to kind of get around your enemies and shoot them down. And the second game went a bit more multi-game modes, and the big one I believe was the BR mode, which was kind of a mixture of BR mode and so on. So people didn't really like, a lot of people didn't like Splitgate, put it this way. The overall majority of the community didn't like it. So they're coming out saying like, oh yeah, we're just going to call it a beta. The game's not ready. Although technically that was a full release. But then it gets hilarious because everyone, since their fan base is saying they prefer the first game, they're like, well, we're going to shut it down. So you're forced to go play the second game. And, yeah, I don't know. One of the biggest things they also got criticized by their fan base was the fact that the MTX was a little harsh on the second game versus the first game. So I don't know. To me, this looks like a big play on them trying to force the people on the first game to play the second game, which is probably not going to go down well. And then there's a good chance that they're probably going to take what they had in the first game and just implement it in the second game as like a game mode, which might save them. Who knows? But yeah, things are rough at the moment. They also recently had a couple of layoffs recently before this article actually came out. So like, yeah, things are not great there. Things are not great. Yeah, they shut down they're gonna shut down the first one. They said in about a month it'll be down because it's costing them too much money to keep the servers down. It's just not Overwatch tactics. Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to do. I think they're trying to force their fan base onto the second game, which is not the smartest thing to do. Like, you should retain your fan base, not try to game them. And I believe they're trying to game them, which will most likely not end well. Our next bit of news is good news. Elden Ring Night Rain hits 5 million players, and Elden Ring Shadow of Erdtree, that's a DLC by the way, not the full game, hits 10 million players. Although technically you need the first game to hit that, so yeah, you can assume that that's way more than 10 million on the Elden Ring in general. Players, congratulations to FromSoft there. Awesome. I hope that overwhelming success somehow makes them branch off and become independent again. I don't like that they are part of a Karakawa Studios. I don't like that. Especially because I haven't seen anything since, but there were rumors about Sony trying to buy Karakawa Studios. I haven't seen anything since that, months ago. So I guess it just never went anywhere. But that scares me. That really scares me of a developer that I really, 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 really like being in the hands of Sony. It scares me a lot. So I really hope that insane amount of money that they made makes them branch off and just be their own studio and their own publisher and everything. Because they definitely have the money now. So, yeah. And then our last story here. The store listing for Project Cars 3 on Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox platforms has just been updated to announce that the game will be delisted in 1 month on August 24th, and that its only feature and its online features will end on February 24th, 2026. Again, like, you can play these games offline, just online will no longer be available. Please note that the time may vary by region. If you bought the game digitally, it will remain in your library. You can re-download it in the future. Any DLCs purchased before 2025 will also be available after this date. Basically, if you own the DLCs and you own all that stuff already before August 24th, you're fine. You're not losing the game. But the online modes will not be working anymore as of February 24th, 2026. So, following year, on the 24th, those things are gone, the online service. Offline will still be there. This has been a really weird thing that's been going on. This has been going on for a while, I've noticed. And it is kind of mentioned by a couple of people in the communities. This is a studio that was picked up by EA. The name of the studio, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, it's Codemasters. If you guys know Codemasters, they are the guys who do a lot of the kart racing games, not just this one. They used to do the other rally car, WRC. They did that one. I think they're also doing the F1 games. I'm not 100% sure. But these games, what's happening here is these games are before EA, if I'm not mistaken. And they've been delisting them ever since they got these studios. It's like they're slowly getting rid of all their before EA games for some reason. It's a weird thing that's happening. It's like EA is slowly trying to stop them from like having an identity outside of EA. I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. It wouldn't surprise me if that's what EA is doing, or just EA doesn't want to deal with the upkeep of that and wants their people just focused on their projects, which would also make sense. But yeah, it is a little weird thing that like they're delisting these games. Like, just leave them there. If they eventually get so outdated that people will need to use like emulators to play them, then so be it. Like, it is what it is. But like, I just don't see the point in delisting them. I really don't. That being said, we are now at the fun part of news and trailer time that all of you guys love, which is the trailers. So let's go ahead and jump into our first one. First one is The Expanse: Osiris Reborn. I'm gonna grab water while this plays, by the way.
Zafar, pull up Navtech.
Just a sec. Got it.
Taki. We gonna find out about your Kopeg right quick, okay?
Just want to do him justice. Stuck his neck out for us. Least we can do is get him out alive.
We've got big enough guns to make justice, all right?
Oh, Michael. To a man with a hammer, just about everything looks like a nail.
Aim for show. Time to say oh yeah with our hammer.
Missile range in 1 minute.
Brace yourselves. We're going for a spin. Zafar, did you get a signal?
After the large haul down this corridor, they shut down this part of the facility. Long time before our arrival.
Fine. Let's deal with those guys first.
In Yelloda. They never look up. Zafar, you were right. They shut down this.
Wait!
Follow us. I need backup.
Hold on, I'm coming!
I'll cover you.
You're the fun part. Aw.
Thanks.
I can't see shit from here.
The bird up high shall be thine eyes. What the hell happened here?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I think that's the point where you should just run. I don't really know the Expanse universe. I never watched a show. I never played any of the other games. But every time I see these games, like, it really makes me curious. And this one looks awesome. Like, don't get me wrong, the other one was like a Telltale story, which looked pretty cool too. But this one looks awesome. There's something about a shootsy part to it that makes it more interesting to me than just storytelling. Although I do like storytelling games. I really, really do. Next game is a game called Echoes of the End. I don't even know what this is and I want to now. There's like a whole show and books about the Expanse. I don't know any of them. I think, was it Cooch? Somebody I know was playing the Telltale version.
I used to swear.
Because there was a game that's like Telltale style. And now they're making that one, which is more of an action shooter.
To protect our people. And if it claims our lives, what's one life lost for the sake of the many?
And now, what do you swear by today?
She's a witch.
The only one that matters is my brother. And I will kill the people who took him from me.
This looks really cool too. You know what's funny? I've been seeing more and more of these type of games kind of being made. And these type of games, I mean which is funny because it was not a full, really successful game. But you know that Sony game that came out with the spell slinging girl? That kind of looked like that other character from The Witcher.
Your father was right about one thing.
That didn't do so well, but I've been seeing a lot more of like games that look like they're in the same style.
We fail. It may spell another end.
Looks interesting. Got some good names here too. Deep Silver. They tend to deliver pretty good games. Next up is a game called Whispers in the Fog. People are leaning into Fantasy Life too. They are, but I think it's also they're leaning into Unreal Engine 5 really hard. And a lot of new IP is doing okay. You know, expectations are pretty low when it's a new IP. A lot of returning IP, sequels and all that, are not doing well with the Unreal Engine 5 changes. And like a perfect example is the new game that just came out recently. Killing Floor 3 is getting a lot of slack. Which is understandable because they basically traded jank for graphics. Killing Floor was always kind of janky to a degree, but it was smooth, and now it's not at all. It's just really janky and pretty looking. And that seems to be a very big trend that a lot of developers are doing, and that's not the right decision, in my opinion, but it is what it is. Unreal Engine 5 will get there eventually. It's either that or eventually everybody will get computers that can handle it. One will come eventually. I'm hoping the other. Because the problem with Eerie 5 is it's still not really well optimized. Unreal Engine 5 was just too big of a leap from Unreal Engine 4. And it's a burden. It's a massive burden on the systems. So it's like you need to get like a 40 series. level of card to even handle that stuff, which is not a fair thing to ask of the player base. It's really not. But yeah. Next game is a game that has kind of caught my eye. I personally think it looks really cool. Of course, there's an ad here, so I got to get through this ad real quick. But it's a game called Eric's Home: The Stolen Dream. Looks really, really cool. I'm liking that more games are doing this, because this looks like a Divinity style / like Baldur's Gate style type game. And I'm liking that in between there, it looks like there's going to be like proper cutscenes and storytelling through cutscenes instead of just like text. I like seeing that, like top down, yeah. Although it's more of a side, is what it looked like to me, rather than top down. But yeah, I like the fact that like it looks like they'll be doing some storytelling through cutscenes and like up close camera though, not just top view, which is nice. Isometric, yes, words, big. That's the one. Next game is the Explorator. I like that because, like, I don't mind that. I like top-down games too, but there are a strong amount of people. I forgot to remove my death counter. Strong amount of people who can't really get into games because they like cutscenes or whatnot for the storytelling. So it's good to see that more and more people are starting to adopt that. Well, that looks ominous. It's like a spooky game in a comic book style. Yep. There you go. $1912.34 with the new champ and ARAM. Oh, you've tried Yunara? Damn. She's fun. I've never tried her, never played her. But yeah, nice. Next up. We just did that one. This one. It's a game called Constance. There you go. While you guys wait for Silk Song, you got this. Oh, Hollow Knight 3. Oh man, 2's not even out yet. 3. Next up is a game called. Well, we have an ad. Hold on. It's a game called Lost Eidolons: Veil of the Witch.
Welcome to Veil of the Witch, a turn-based tactical RPG with a roguelite twist. You play as Ash, a shipwrecked castaway with no memories and a big-ass sword.
Let's see if I remember how to use it.
5 years after a bloody civil war, you wake up trapped on a mysterious island filled with monsters, cultists.
This kind of reminds me of Banner Saga.
Suffice to say, this whole island is madhouse.
Combat in Veil of the Witch is built for hardcore tactics fans, with an emphasis on speed and brutality. That means a small party, tight battle maps, and enemies that can drop you in just a few hits. To stand a chance, you'll have to master each ally's unique kit, whether that's frontliner Marco, glass cannon caster Laurent, or backstabbing cutthroat Emile. All your abilities work on a cooldown, so you'll have to think smart and learn to juggle. You can also level up and unlock new skills right in the middle of battle. Surrounding this rock-solid core is a branching roguelike structure focused on skill in the face of unpredictable challenges. Face off against cool bosses.
Burn! Beacon of the dead!
Get your shit wrecked. Then head back to town, where you can unlock upgrades, chat with allies, craft equipment, and more. And if you're real nasty, take on Trials mode for bigger challenges and better rewards. Fight. Die. Rise again, stronger, then come back and conquer. Lost
So
Island,
it's
Veil of the Witch.
kind of a roguelike.
Early access available now on Steam, and coming soon to Xbox, PS5, and Nintendo Switch.
Get your shit wrecked. Yeah. They should put that under all roguelites. Get your shit wrecked and come back. Next up is something new, apparently, coming from the Eve people. Here is Eve Frontier. I never got
Frontier
into
is
Eve.
an invitation for everyone that have had the idea in their brain to make a game. And often the best way to make a game is to start and modify an existing game. We have now created an MMO server-side modding platform, and we offer an invitation to you to come and build with us. You can build tools, you can build worlds, you can do so many things. And this is a great way to start your game development adventure by sort of playing around in the amazing survival space horror sandbox we have created. When we made Eve Online, we very much wanted to make a sandbox experience where most of the things and the infrastructure in the game would actually be built by players. But we did build quite a bit of it ourselves. Seeing what emerged from Eve, especially when it comes to the third-party development ecosystem, we could actually give a lot more agency to players to literally build the world. So as we go through this process of stripping down to a survival game, we are on the other hand building up an amazing modding platform. Basically what Eve Frontier enables third-party developers is to mod the actual server, creating additional software that both read and writes the world state. And that, I think, will enable something truly astounding that has never been seen before. But this is very much inspired by the third-party ecosystem that is developed around EVE Online. We are basically supercharging that with the smart assemblies and the modding platform we're built into Frontier. And what we have seen so far in our various hackathons and events, and what we've just seen in the sort of builder community overall, absolutely delivers on that vision in spades.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Like, I could never get into this game, but like, it is interesting. They're basically letting people create the universe itself, like, to a further degree where they're literally just creating stuff instead of just like playing the game and building it up. Next game is a game called Firefighting Simulator Ignite.
Can anyone hear me?
Dispatch to Unit 1. There's an ongoing fire.
Unit 1 to dispatch. Copy. Supply line ready.
Break that door open.
Let me get that sturdy Halligan first.
I don't feel like I could play this game with like the people I know. I feel like we would just burn the neighborhood down instead of actually saving people.
Gotta go scout the area. That was close.
Yeah, you're good?
Yes, exactly.
Please, get me out of here.
You see, like, they would go up to those NPCs, just throw them out the window. They would chop everything down.
I need help! Mayday! Mayday!
Firefighting Simulator Ignite. United against
Also, I'm
fire.
not gonna lie, this
Coming
game looks
fall 2025.
hella jank.
Wishlist now on PC and consoles.
It looks hella jank. Next up is a game called Sacrifier. Another fire.
We have been blessed to live in times of peace, but our city is not without its enemies. The demons above, and the beasts below.
All right, I'm pumped. Let's do this.
You're going to be bishops too?
Through Shale, all things are possible. It's time the three of you learn the true purpose of the bishops. Listen up.
We recruit from the finest soldiers in the church, and still, 1 out of every 3 bishops doesn't make it past the first year.
Does it get easier after that? We gave you those robes for a reason.
I'm like digging it. I like these kind of art style games. So like,
Damn, I love the church.
Yeah, I'm liking it. Next up is a game. Probably have time for like 2 more. Let's see here. There's a game called Chrysold Theater of Idols.
Almighty Son, guide my path
Blumhouse.
in this hour.
Are these the guys who I think they are?
As the shadows of the abyss close in. Let your sacred light
No. It's not the guys I think.
banish them. And I am to fall. Let my flesh turn to ash. So my soul may ascend to you.
Yeah, Blumhouse. This is like their first game. They're nobody important.
Consumed in your flames for all eternity, now and forever. Crisol.
Yeah, that looks intense. Very spoopy. They're a movie studio. Apparently they're making games now.
My path.
Make sure you look up Blumhouse Games and not studio, by the way. But yeah, apparently they have a game studio now. But yeah. The next game has an ad, unfortunately. But it's a game called Call of the Elder Gods.
Includes pep.
Hold on. There we go.
I have seen things that should be forgotten.
There's been a lot of like
tried
spooky
to escape my past.
Eldritch stuff lately. I feel like it's not just me, right?
I've had enough of death and madness. But the world is changing. Some now search for answers in the far reaches of the world. For shocking secrets and dizzying marvels. For there lies upon this world of man a mocking and incredible shadow out of time.
Puzzle stuff? Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be kind of a puzzle game. I'm guessing it's gonna be like spoopy puzzles. And then this will probably be our last one. This game is called Guardians of the Wild Sky. See, this reminds me of another game that kind of came and went. Didn't really last long. The thing is, though, I think this is going to be more of an MMO, actually. This is also going to be interesting, man, because it's like basically Pokemon, but you can also turn into them, and then there's airships and bases. There's a lot going on here. This like literally looks like some crazy-ish that somebody sought a bunch of games and then just put it all together. I also want to point out that guy just tried to fish in the sky with a fishing pole. Like, what are you catching? What could you possibly be trying to catch with a fishing pole in the sky? It's like, I like games like Ark and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to do with this. I struggle to find people to play these type of games with anyway. So like, yeah. But that's a thing. That's a game. Yeah. Nintendo's not gonna be happy, right? Well, it depends on how much money they make. Hopefully their sales aren't good and Nintendo doesn't get involved. If they make a couple of millions, they better watch it. Better keep that number under $1 million. Alright, we might be able to squeeze one more in. Why not? Let's do one more. Let's get a good trailer out on the way out. And this one looks to be okay. I think we got we got commercial on this one. The next one is called Wander Stars.
Next time on Wander Stars. Join Ringo and Wolf, unlikely partners in a race to find the Wander Star map.
I love it. I love it because it's basically the old school anime like style
To fight and unleash
video
custom
game.
attacks in this super anime RPG. Collect and combine over 200 words for surprising new effects. Befriend your rivals to earn pep-ups and get special abilities.
How great is that? That you create stronger attacks by putting more words in it. So you go from like super punch to like super wide punch.
Will Ringo and Wolf find all the pieces of the Wonder
I
Star
love
map?
it.
Tune in to find out.
This is like old school anime parody at its finest. This is great. Oh god, that's hilarious. Alright, Lizard, how you doing, man? Alright, let's jump on to some Destiny.